Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Be Infinite podcast. I'm Christopher Shaw, founder of BeInfinite.co. And on today's podcast, we have the amazing Kapri Willis, CEO and founder of Jefri. And on today, she's going to help us navigate the mental health of being an entrepreneur. Stay tuned. Hey, Kapri, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
Blessed. We had a little mishap with that with the intro. Apology for that, but you know how it is sometimes. And me and you done practiced about 6 times before we got on here, and then and then the one time when we get on here, it messes. But that's how it goes with entrepreneurship, right? We gotta
Yes.
keep going.
Hey, keep going.
But no, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being a guest on our podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm so grateful for you for welcoming me in and giving me opportunity to chat.
Well, the pleasure, like I said, is all yours. You're making moves in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with everything you do, and I really wanted to have that and spread that out to our audience. So let us know exactly how you're impacting not only your life, but the lives of people who come in contact with your business.
So I'm really community driven, and I wanted to figure out a way that in the niche that I'm in, how can I give back in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with Jeffrey Spencer Studios, and Jeffrey Spencer Studio is a safe space for fashion, beauty, or just any type of influencer that wants to come together and be a collective. Whether it can be in their own lane, but we kind of lean on each other. I'm here to help behind the scene. We have somebody that can help conceptualize concepts. We have somebody that can style. We have somebody that can help branding. So it's just kind of like that safe space of like progressing in your business, whether it is a personal business or a mega business. That's what Jeffrey Spencer Studio is all about.
And it's a physical location that it's like
Yes.
a one-stop stop to really help me get my message out professionally, right? Just uh,
Yes.
cool. I love it. I mean, I love the whole idea. I love the vision behind it. Now, me and you met at the Sister Walk, correct?
Yes.
And that was the first time I ever heard of that. That was pretty cool too. But while we were there, you also, you had a brand of skincare products. Kind of tell us about
Yes.
that as well.
Well, as an entrepreneur, you have to have different streams of income. So Jeffrey Spencer started with the skincare.
Okay.
So we have body oil, beard oil, face oil, and then I'm kind of branching into home care too, because it's all personal to me and my family, right? So I'm very, very big on upholding my skin and just kind of maintaining its beauty. And then I also care about my home. Like I'm a very olfactory person. And so when I first walk into even when you first meet somebody, how they smell is how are you gonna remember them? Like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my God, I met her or I met him, he was amazing. Or, if they don't smell so great, you kind of remember that about that person. So I created a business outside of me being ashy during COVID. Um, I created this business because I wanted to smell good, feel good inside and out. And and that's how this this business came to
Came
itself.
about.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Now, aside from being an entrepreneur, you're also a mother and a veteran.
Yes. Talk about it.
Ooh. Oh wow! Thank
Yes.
you for what'd you say?
I said yes. I said talk about it. Being a
Oh, okay.
single mom and a veteran. It has
Yeah,
its
that's
perks.
amazing. A lot of people would be, oh, I'm a mother. I don't have time to do entrepreneurship. I don't have time to help anybody. But you did not. You didn't. You didn't even think about that.
No, it's
Actually,
team. What we were talking about. Having a team that really
yeah.
having a circle. It really matters.
Well, I mean, you're living proof, man. Now, how long has Jeffrey Spencer been about? How long has it been up and running?
What year are we in? 2022. So about 2 years. I started at the height of COVID with the skincare. With the studio was launched on my birthday this year, July 27th. So it was the perfect gift for me to actually launch a space. I
Oh
was
wow.
mobile for a while. I've been mobile for about 3 to 4 years. Mobile, just helping people out, taking their photos, conceptualizing or styling them. I've been doing that for years. But actually, I was just like, I cannot continue to drive around with the massive stuff in my trunk, my car, my
Mhm.
son, his car seat. Like it was just overwhelming. So I prayed about a space and talked to my business partner, and we're here. We're here.
That came about.
Came
That's
about.
amazing. And I love how you gave a little insight to your journey too, from where you started. A lot
Mhm.
of people want to kind of put on front sometime and be like, "Oh, I've always been like this" or whatever, but that doesn't really help anybody. But for you to,
It does.
tell us that, hey, I got tired of this. I had to think about something. I didn't want to give up on my vision. I
Mhm.
just had to mold it, had to reform it a little bit. So I'm glad that little insight that you put that in there, to where we're seeing the growth. And even after this show, we're going to invite you back, 3 years from now when you have a huge building
Fleet.
warehouse. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm just glad we're in on the ground floor right now. And then another thing, we're talking about entrepreneurial mindset and mental health and things like that today with you. You're going to help us with that, but
Mhm.
also the aspect of what you just said was very interesting, especially with us younger entrepreneurs. You said on your birthday you gave yourself a gift of progression in your business,
Mhm.
progression in your life, not a whole bunch of clothes or shoes. You
Mm.
invested back into yourself for your birthday. That is very unheard of. And so I just
Yes.
want to commend you for doing that as well. That's
Thank you.
huge.
Thank you. Well, and I want to take that back. I didn't give myself this business. God did,
Okay.
because
Whoa. Okay. You're right.
so, and I know that was a correction for me. Like I just knew that was the goal, but to actually have it was a blessing from God, because I was just like, I know I want this for my birthday, and then it was shake and go because it almost didn't
Okay.
happen. But I'm here, thank God, and I'm super grateful. And just to kind of piggyback a little bit about what you said, um, in entrepreneurship, you said we put people put on a front, like this is how I've always been. Like, entrepreneur is not about the wins always. It's about the journey for me, because that's what builds character. And I know we'll roll into this, but I'm heavy on the journey. I've had a down week this whole week, and we could talk about it, but I've had a down week this whole week. But this is what I respect about entrepreneurship, because next week is going to be even better. You can't appreciate good when you don't go through bad.
You don't know.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
You're
about
right.
the journey with entrepreneurship.
Well, let's roll right
Absolutely.
into it. Um, I on our questionnaire when we talked to you, you talked about mental. I did not expect that. Most people don't want to talk about that because, especially
Mhm.
nowadays, because that's a touchy subject. But I also did not even really think about the two, entrepreneurship and mental health, because most of the time you think of entrepreneurs as strong mentally, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, let's get into that, and let's get into that journey. When you're an entrepreneur and you're going through things, how do you deal with that mental health and still remember you can't just go to a 9 to 5, stay there for those hours and get that check. You still got to be on point to a certain point and still deal with that mental health. So from your standpoint and being in your position, how do you kind of deal with that, and how can you help others?
So, I definitely pray, and I'm not trying to, preach and all that type of stuff. I definitely pray.
You're good.
Um, that's really a big thing on me, because to circle back to the military, I didn't have a relationship with God. All the stuff that I saw, I was beefing with him. Like, how could you do all this? So
Yeah.
it's big for me now, because I'm still having those same kind of struggles in business, kind of like, why don't I have like a packed house today? Or, why didn't somebody book today? So I still have this like inner fight, but instead of having that relationship where I'm just like mad at him, I'm having this relationship like, help me understand. Help me
Yes.
understand why I'm feeling this way. Help me understand why I'm going through this. And then aside from that, personal relationship, a circle. You have to put people in your circle that's not yes people. Like, oh, well, you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
great, or oh, like you're so beautiful, or you're so smart, or miss me with all of that and tell me what it is. I have friends that are like, listen, you need to suck that crap up and keep it pushing because you got bills to pay. You laying in the bed crying, it's not gonna pay that bill. So like I have those strong-minded people around me, right? And then my sister is a very big part of my mental health. And she doesn't even know. I don't even think I tell her. Hopefully she ain't logged in today. But she's a big part of my mental health journey, or just struggles with entrepreneurship. It's just having people, not just one, not just two, God and everybody around you, having those people help you mentally with with uh with entrepreneurship. That's
Man.
that's a big thing for me. And even people you like, I go to a whole bunch of like business minded groups, women business owned groups, black owned business groups. I go to a lot of different business um surrounding groups. I connect because they're going through the same thing we're going through, whether they're a
Yeah.
Fortune 9,000, or if they're a startup, like they're going to markets. Either way, across the board, we connected. I was selling you body oil, and look how we had an in-depth conversation enough to where you're like, hey, come to my podcast. So networking and building your circle is very important in continuing through your, hardships when it comes to business.
I definitely agree. When I first started
Excuse
too,
me.
I focused on the quality of the products and I
Mm-hmm.
totally neglected relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we have the best products in the world. We can help you do just about anything we have for many years, but it was not getting the certain clients because you didn't build you weren't building the relationships. You weren't going to network like you just said. All those groups, we didn't we didn't do none of that. We did more digital marketing stuff like that, but it was more. I'm realizing now it's important to really build people around you that, like you said, you don't want yes men around you because when the money stops, those yes men are gone because y'all really didn't have a connection, weren't really providing value to one another. I was just
Mm-hmm.
telling you what you want to hear so we can keep it going. But when the money gone, so that's very important to have that. Now, and it's glad that you talked about getting back to God and putting your faith first because that's something we lean on too when times get hard because
Mm-hmm.
money's not always coming with entrepreneurs. I like how you said, why didn't anybody book today? That is so true. To
Yeah.
where we we say those things like, hey, I put all this energy and time and into all this, where's the money? Where's all this stuff?
Yeah.
But we have to sit back sometime and did it. And
Oh yes.
one of the big things that we do, or that I kind of live by as far as getting through those times, is counting the little wins, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like counting the progression. Like a lot of times when we start with a client and I tell them, what's your business name? Go get your domain name, right? Go get your domain name right now, whether you have nothing else, whether you're still working at your job, whatever, and count that as a win. You're getting one step closer. And then you get those little wins. And now when hard times come upon you, you're like, oh, why isn't this working? You can look back and at least see you got little
Mm-hmm.
progression. So that's one of the tools that I always tell people, because they're going to come, the hard times are going to
Yeah.
come. And
Absolutely.
so you got to have something to lean on. Now, do you provide your space as a commune area to where people can come and, not just rent it out, but also have like meetings every once in a while to where like an entrepreneurial mental health group or something?
So, yes, I haven't had one personally myself, but I've had other people have hosted here. But
Okay.
I have a couple of, or how do you call what do you call them? I have a couple of friends who have like big groups, and I do. We were talking about hosting focus groups, right? Like, what is it
Okay.
that creatives need, and how can the studio help them with these creatives? I do have a good girlfriend who hosts, like, she does Sister Circle. I told her to come. Hey, let's do Sister Circle. Hey, Sister Circle is a safe place for women, not just it's for women. We want to welcome men one day, but right now it's women
You
to
gotta
just come and
focus.
just
Yeah.
decompress whatever it is
Mhm.
you've been going through single handedly. Because a lot of women like hold that stuff in because we're like, oh, I got to be strong. I can't break down. You
Yeah.
come to this Sister Circle, you break down. We're gonna hold hands and we're gonna like uplift you, right? So we're planning to host that here too. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm very big on community, whether that's business, woman, single mother, black, wife. It doesn't matter. We do we do plan to host those type of if not events, spaces here as well.
Okay, yeah, just like we were saying earlier before the show, that is going to be great because everything you mentioned equates to entrepreneurs thinking they have to do it on their own, and that in itself can be a burden to cause that mental health, especially dealing with the responsibilities. Oh, now thinking back, I was thinking like, how did I even do it other than the grace of God? How did I even do it? Because there's
Yes,
so much that you have to juggle. Um,
yes.
but
I
I
was
think
thinking
we're on the
of.
right path as far as solution. I'm sorry, Capri, what?
Oh no, I'm sorry because I know we're just battling each other because we're excited about the topic. But perseverance is a good word. I was talking to a friend this morning and he reminded me of that word, and I was just like, oh my god, like that is the perfect word for entrepreneurship. You persevere through the good, the bad, the ugly,
Right.
the
Mhm.
upside down, the sideways. Like it's more than just let me get up so I can make this money. That can't be it. That
Yeah.
cannot be the only goal, like the only why.
Hmm.
Speaking of that, your why has to be rock solid and rooted because if your why is not, you just owning a business just to say, hey, I own a business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're never really providing that value that you really want to provide. Speaking of what is your tell us about your why? What's your why?
Uh, he, I would like to. I hate to be cliche, but my son is definitely my why. Um, um, we have a very small family. It's on my mother's side. We have a very small family, and when I had Knox, who's my son, when I had him, I wanted to be different than what my family dynamic has kind of been. Like, not no shade to my family, but I don't think I'm gonna have anything passed on to me, right? Or
Hmm.
something that that has been in the family for eons and
I know
eons
what you
of
mean. Yeah.
years, just like, so I wanted to do something different. I wanted to break that. And like, dang, I want to give something to my son. And what could that be? I even before, no, right when he got here, I was like, hey, I'm gonna have to change my life for this man, right?
Hmm.
So for, I think he's 4 now. So for 2 years, I was just like, what could it be? Could it be a house? Could it be property? Could it be this? Could it be that? And I was just like, make your talent a business, and then whatever your talent is or your business is, have a reason why you want to unlock that door and sign on every morning, right? And
Yes.
if I didn't have my son, would I be here today? I don't know. I don't know that. That's not something I really focus on, but I knew if there's something that I wanted to pass on, and this possibly could be it amongst other things, make it the greatest, make it so great, so big, so that all he has to do is come in and manage.
Mm.
All he has to do is kind of like a fashion designer. When a fashion designer passes on, a creative director keeps that name and
Yeah.
keeps going with the brand. It's the same thing for me. If I die, I want my son to come in and just kind of keep it going, right? And so he's my why. So he's my reason why I unlocked that door this morning. And even though I've been going through it mentally, I said, I'm doing this for Knox.
Hey, first of all, that's not cliche. That's unique to
It
you.
is. It is.
Other
Well, yeah,
people
that's true.
can just relate to that. That's all. That's not cliche, and that's a great why. Now, speak, and you want to, break those generational things that are going on to where you're just leaving
Absolutely.
more for the generations to come. Somebody has to do it. That's what we were thinking. Somebody has to stand up and be like, okay, I'm gonna take all this hard work and this years of just heartache and pain, and just, so the next generation to have it easier. And so that's a great transition into, I wanted to ask you, Jefri Spencer, what is the name, since you're passing it on? What is the name? What does it stand for?
I love this question. So before the studio, my skincare used to be called Just Body Stuff. And people was like, are we stuck with this name? Like, is that something that we're like literally, because I'm trying to get into a big box, right? So they're like, this is the name that you want into Target? And I'm like, I was like, dang, okay. So let me just, rethink it. So unfortunately in 2021, my grandma had passed. And it was a big granny's baby. And going through her stuff, just cleaning up, we came across an article that that mentioned Jefri Spencer. Now, my grandma was a performer. She was a dancer, like a Josephine Baker.
Yes.
So she was, heavy into, she traveled and she danced, and she was very inconspicuous about her stories, right? So I would ask her and she'd be like, yeah, I did fine. Just real quiet about that time. Yeah. So when we found Jefri Spencer, I had to call her sister and be like, hey, Aunt Janice, what's Jefri Spencer? Was she married at some point? Like, who's this Spencer? Because my grandma's name is Gladys Clinkscales. That was her born name. Then she changed it to Gladys Willis. That's her married name. And then throughout the years, she changed it to Jefri Willis. So Jefri, Jefri, was her name. So everybody knew her as Jefri. So we knew Jefri was a thing. Like, we knew that was a thing. But this Spencer person, we're like, well, she was married. I was like, this is sneaky. So we had to call Aunt Janice and ask her was she married before? What was the situation? Sorry. And she told her, she was like, that was just her stage name. And so as we keep finding, we found more articles with Jefri Spencer. And so I thought it was a really good name. So I just took it, coined it, Jefri Spencer.
Oh, wow. That is a wonderful, wonderful story. And I love how you like to tell how your name came to be. And then Jefri Spencer, it does seem like it sounds like a high quality brand. It's excellent. And then on top of that, you're carrying on, think about this. Think about it. When your grandma was, thinking about a name, I don't think she ever thought my granddaughter is going to have a studio named after this. Is going to have a skincare line. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even realize what she was kind of birthing into existence.
Yes, yeah.
Through that. So that is an amazing thing for you to take that on and really have a legacy to where now she lives on forever.
Absolutely.
Forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so great. That's why I'm so grateful for her, because now I can carry that on with Knox, and Knox can tell his family where that name came, name came from, and tell this story about this wonderful woman who was a dancer and all this type of stuff. So yeah, I'm very blessed to have come across Jefri Spencer. Absolutely.
Well, and Knox, he's going to take it even further. So it's going to be every story anyway. So you won't have to explain what the name is. Everybody's just going to know. That's good. I always try to. Hey, I'm gonna keep throwing it out there. There's no reason not to. There's other people doing it. There's no reason, with your passion, your talent, and then your love and your why, and giving honor to God. I mean, there's nothing you can't do. I truly believe that. That's why we named our company Be Infinite, so you can start something and it becomes infinite, right? Yes. And that's exactly what you're doing. This has been a great conversation. Before we go, I wanted to put a plug in there. How can people get in contact with you? How can people work with you? We talking. We forgot that.
So you can find me. So I'd like to direct people to my personal page because it has all the information on there. You can find me at I am Kapri W. So IAMKAPRIW. And that has all of my links to everything that I do with skin or the studio. And then as far as the studio and the skincare, it's Jefri Spencer, Jefri Spencer studio, or Jefri Spencer skin.
Okay. And you can just Google that and it
can just Google it, it'll pop right on up. Yes,
okay, great. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody, and this is Dallas Fort Worth right now, before you go nationwide. But people right now in Dallas, or you're coming to Dallas, check it out. And like I said, you blew us away when we went to the site and saw how professional it was, and the idea of just having a creative space, because people have that vision, they want to get out, but you just make it professional, molded, and even have like the mental aspect of it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And we look forward to working with you, partnering with you with anything.
Yes.
We're going to bring stuff together as well. So this has been great. Do you have anything to leave on the mental health aspect or any of the aspects we talked about with our audience? Take your time too. You don't have to rush it.
Okay, good. I'm like looking at the time there. I'm like, ooh, how many minutes I got? So when it comes to starting, be intentional. When it comes to maintaining, be aggressive. And when it comes to the negative or the cloud, give grace to yourself. And when I say all of that is nothing's ever going to just be hunky-dory 24/7. Ever. And I'm trying to have so many thoughts. I'm trying to put it together in like little tidbits. Nothing's going to be great 24/7. So build that circle, establish the circle, execute with your circle, and lean on your circle when it comes to entrepreneurship, because it's very pertinent. It's very, very important to have faith and to have flesh. Faith and flesh, like you need both of them in order to to persevere when it comes to entrepreneurship. And then I'm here. I mean, I don't know who's all on here, but you are welcome to text me, call me, email me, or whatever. So I can help out as well, because again, I have gone through it. I'm going through it. I'm going to be through it, and then it's going to start right back over. So I'm willing to be in anybody's circle, because again, you do need that faith, and you do need that flesh. So I'll just leave you guys with that.
Okay. You blew us away. I didn't know. I didn't expect a personal invitation. That is amazing.
Absolutely.
Most people wouldn't want to do that. So give us that website one more time.
www.jeffryspencerstudio.com.
Okay, great. Okay, and we're going to be doing an email blast, letting everybody know. We did a couple before. We're going to do some more. This has been great, Kapri. Oh my gosh, we're going to have you on again, and we're going to do some more collaboration, us and our companies, and we're just going to blow it away.
Let's do a panel. Let's do a panel.
That would work. That would work. So I want you to stay on, and everybody else, thank you for joining the Be Infinite podcast today. It's the Business Mind Path. We just changed the name to Be Infinite, so that's why I keep saying the Business Minds, but the Be Infinite podcast. Thank you once again. Until next time, be infinite.